If you're learning computer networking, there are a few commands you should know from the beginning. These commands can help you check your IP address, test connectivity, troubleshoot DNS, view network connections, and find routing problems. In this video, I'll explain 10 useful network commands, what they do, and when you should use them. Number 1 is ping. Ping is one of the most common commands used when troubleshooting a network connection. For example, I'll type ping 8.8.8.8 and press enter. My computer sends ICMP echo request messages to the destination and waits for echo reply messages. If I receive replies, it tells me that the destination is reachable using ICMP. You can also look at the response time and packet loss to get basic information about the connection. Number 2 is IPCONFIG. On Windows, IPCONFIG is one of the first commands you should check when troubleshooting network configuration. Type IPCONFIG and press enter. Here we can see the IPv4 address assigned to the computer. We can also see the subnet mask, which helps determine which addresses belong to the local network. If you need more information, you can use IPCONFIG/all. This can show additional details such as the network adapter, physical address, DHCP information, and DNS servers. Number 3 is traceroute. On Windows, the command is written as TRACERT. This command helps us see the path traffic takes toward a destination. For example, I'll run TRACERT 8.8.8.8. Each line in the result represents a hop along the path. The first hop is often your local router. After that, traffic may travel through your internet provider and other routers before reaching the destination. Traceroute is useful when you want to understand where connectivity or latency problems may be occurring along a network path. Number 4 is NSLOOKUP. This command is useful for checking DNS. DNS translates domain names such as example.com into IP addresses that computers can use. Let's type NSLOOKUP example.com and press enter. The result shows the DNS server used for the query and the address returned for the domain. If you can reach an internet IP address, but websites are not resolving by name, NSLOOKUP can help you investigate whether DNS is the problem. Number 5, ARP. Number 5 is ARP. ARP stands for Address Resolution Protocol. On a local IPv4 network, ARP is used to map an IPv4 address to a MAC address. Type ARP --A and press enter. Here we can see entries containing internet addresses and physical addresses. The internet address is the IPv4 address. The physical address is the corresponding MAC address learned for that local neighbor. This command can be useful when checking local network communication or investigating IP to MAC mappings. Number 6 is NETSTAT. NETSTAT helps us inspect network connections on the computer. On Windows, I'll use NETSTAT-ANO. The output shows information such as local addresses, remote addresses, connection states, and process IDs. For example, established means there is currently an active TCP connection. Listening means a local TCP port is waiting for incoming connections. The PID or process ID can help you identify which application or service owns a connection. This is useful when troubleshooting applications, services, and unexpected network connections. Number 7 is route print. Every computer uses a routing table to decide where network traffic should go. On Windows, type route print and press enter. The output includes network destinations, net masks, gateways, interfaces, and metrics. One important entry to understand is the default route. For IPv4, you'll commonly see a destination and net mask of 0.0.0.0. This tells the computer where to send traffic when there isn't a more specific route available. The gateway associated with that route is normally your default gateway.
Number 8 is hostname. This is a very simple command, but it's useful when working with many computers or servers. Type hostname and press enter. Windows immediately displays the name of the current computer. For example, this computer might be called admin PC. When you're remotely managing several servers or troubleshooting different machines, checking the host name can help confirm that you're working on the correct system. Number 9 is GETMAC. Every network interface has a MAC address at the data link layer. On Windows, type GETMAC and press enter. The command displays MAC address information for the network adapters on the computer. Windows may label the MAC address as the physical address. This is useful when identifying network interfaces or comparing adapter information with other network records. Remember, an IP address and a MAC address are different. An IP address is used for logical network addressing, while a MAC address identifies a network interface at the local link layer. Number 10 is Telnet. For troubleshooting, Telnet can be used as a simple way to test whether a TCP connection can be established to a specific port. For example, in my own lab, I'll test a web server at 192 168.1.100 on port 80. If the TCP connection succeeds, that tells me the service port is reachable from this computer. If it fails, I may need to check the service, firewall, routing, or network connectivity. Now let's see how these commands can work together during troubleshooting. Imagine that my computer cannot open a website. First, I use IPCONFIG to check my IP address, subnet mask, and default gateway. Next, I ping the default gateway to check connectivity on my local network. Then, I can ping an internet IP address to see whether I have connectivity beyond my router. If that works, but the website name still doesn't resolve, I'll use NSLOOKUP, and those are 10 useful network commands every beginner should practice. You don't need to memorize everything immediately. Open command prompt, try each command yourself, and learn what the different results mean. The more you practice troubleshooting, the easier it becomes to understand how devices communicate across a network. If this video helped you, subscribe to Network Lab for more practical networking tutorials. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.